thanks for tuning in on this happy Friday. Hopefully it's a happy Friday for you all. And there is, you know, I always like to offer a little help with intention setting, doing a little research, a little reading. Came across some insightful stuff on the connection between fear and courage, and the idea that, you know, fear is always seen as a negative thing, but how do you embrace fear? Without fear, you can't be courageous, right? They go hand in hand. Our fears are gatekeepers to some of our greatest gifts. The more resistance we have towards a particular fear, the more important it can potentially be for our growth. It can also indicate that we're facing the appropriate way, that you're heading in the right direction. Your courage comes from living from the heart, and our fears can be seen as opportunities to expand rather than hold us hostage. So a lot of that stuff just kind of spoke to me as things are changing, the world's starting to open up, and we might not know if it's safe or not. So, you know, being a little brave and courageous in this time of fear and seeing how you can grow with that is an important practice. So thanks for tuning in today. And we're gonna start today's session actually standing on our feet. So come towards that top third of the mat. Really start to root down through all four corners of your feet. Feel that connection with the earth beneath your mat. Maybe you flutter your eyes closed to bring that focus inward. Really getting in touch and in tune with your body. As that focus comes inward, start to bring it to your breath. It can help accentuate that inner focus. Start to tune in to the expansion and contraction of your inhales and exhales. Now I want you to start to constrict that breath, close off your mouth. Start to build some heat, creating that noise, that oceanic sound at the back of your throat. Let that breath drive you through your practice. Allowing you to match your breath with your movement. With your next inhale, extend the arms up overhead. As you interlace your fingers on the exhale, send the palms of the hands up towards the sky. Nice good morning, good afternoon stretch. As you reach the palms up towards the sky, counteract that reach with pinning your shoulder blades down your back and away from your ears. So you have this push-pull sort of sensation as you reach the palms high, pressing those shoulder blades down your back. With your next inhale, planting firmly through that right foot, driving that right heel into the ground as you reach the palms over to your left side body, expanding the ribs in the right side. Look your gaze gently, softly up underneath that right arm towards the sky. Really drive that right heel down towards the ground as you expand and stretch the fingertips towards your left side. Your next breath in, gently shift back to center. On your exhale, root down through the left heel this time. Extend the right fingertips, right palms out towards the right side. Look your gaze up and under that left elbow towards the sky. Expanding the ribs and that side body on the left side. Your next inhale, come back to a nice tall spine. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward all the way down. Forward fold.
Allow your forehead to hang long. Let your arms sway side to side. Option to reach for your opposite elbows here as you let gravity and the weight of your head pull you forward. Try to bring your chest down towards the tops of your thighs. Option to take a bend in the knees if the hamstrings are limiting you at all. Pull yourself a little bit deeper into the floor. From here, heel toe your feet out wide to the edges of your mat as you take a little bit of a greater bend in the left knee. Tuck your left shoulder to the inner edge of that left knee as you reach for the right ankle, pulling your forehead up and over that right knee, expanding open the posterior aspect of that leg. Feel that through the hamstring as you try and send your hips high. Let your head fall heavy. Reconnect with your breath. Your next inhale, gently straighten out that left knee as you take a bend in the right. Tuck that right shoulder on the inner edge of the right knee. As you exhale, reaching with your hands towards your left ankle, folding over the left side. See if you can deepen that fold just a little bit with each breath. Your next inhale, straighten out that right leg. Heel toe your feet back together. As you plant your hands, step your feet back into a high plank. With your next breath in, you shift your weight forward onto your tippy toes. As you exhale, keep those elbows in nice and tight, lowering down halfway. Untuck the toes. Press down firmly through the tops of the feet. Keep your thighs elevated as you shine your heart forward with your inhale for your upward facing dog. Thighs and knees are lifted. On your exhale, use your core to shift your hips up nice and high, curling over the tops of your toes for a downward facing dog. First time here today, start to pedal it out. Expand your hamstrings. Gastrocs, pressing firmly through all 10 fingers. Spiral those elbows in towards the midline as you shift your weight back. With your next breath in, slowly walk your feet behind your hands. On your exhale, release down, forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, press the palms of your hands into your shin for a nice flat back. As you exhale, release down, forward fold. Landing firmly through all four corners, root to rise, come all the way up to standing. With your inhale, as you exhale, fold all the way back down. From here, take a breath in as you sit your hips back into that imaginary chair. On your exhale, arms come up overhead. Try and raise those elbows and biceps up towards your ears. Keep the shoulders pinned down and away from your ears. Press those knees together, sitting back into the heels as you peel the toes off the mat. Your next inhale, send the fingertips back behind you, airplane arms. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Inhale for your airplane arms. Exhale, arms overhead. Your next breath in, bring the hands to heart center. As you exhale, fold over the knees. Open up that lumbar spine. Take a nice deep breath in, plant the hands, step your feet back. As you exhale, lower down halfway for your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, send the hips high, downward facing. Working in some sun salutations into our practice. Try to find a little depth, a little new expansion coming back to these poses. See if you can challenge yourself to grow just a little bit Find that courage. Your next inhale, step your feet forward. As you exhale, release down, forward fold. Inhale for that halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to standing. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale, sit the hips back, imaginary chair. As you exhale, arms come up overhead. With your next breath in, bring your hands to heart center. On your exhale, we're opening up, twisting to the right. Left elbow comes to the outer edge of that right knee. Press the palms together. Try and get those prayer hands right about your sternum as you open up, twisting to the right. Try to tuck that left knee back, left hip back. Keep the knees level. Press together nice and tight. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, maintain that squat in the chair, twisting open to the left. Right elbow presses into the outer edge of that left knee. Let the crown of your head shine forward. Imaginary string is pulling you towards the top of your mat. Energetically send the crown of your head that way. Inhale, shift your weight back to center. As you exhale, release down, forward. Inhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. We're going to stay here in this high plank. Checking in with your core. Make sure it's nice and engaged. Pelvic floor is lifted. Pressing the mat away with all 10 fingers. Really pin those shoulders against your rib cage as you hold this high plank. When you're ready, slowly lower down to your forearms. Keeping that same engagement through your upper body. Core is nice and tight. Head stays lifted for a nice straight spine. Reconnect with your breath. Start to build that heat, that driving force from within. With your next breath in, we're going to pivot open to the right, staying with this forearm side plank. So tick-tock your heels over to the left as you reach the right fingertips high. Press down through that left elbow. And we're going to start to dip. So lower down with your inhale. As you exhale, send the hips high. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, send the hips high. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 more. 8, 9, 10. Shift forward back to your forearm plank. Holding firm, nice and tight through the core. Pressing those elbows down into the earth. Your next breath in, shifting your weight onto that right elbow. Open up, spiral the heels over to the right. So you reach the left fingertips high. So energetically pressing the mat away as you reach those left fingertips up towards the sky. Start with our dips. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, extend up high. Inhale down, extend up high. Down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10. Come back to the forearms. Staying here nice and engaged through the core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up to the palms. Stay with the plank. Sorry, Stefan. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Toes come together, knees go wide as you press your hips back. Child's pose. Take an open mouth exhale here. maybe 2 or 3. Option to grab a drink of water if you need. Come back to your child's pose, staying active in this pose as you press through all 10 fingers, sending your hips back. Option to tent the palms. Imagine that little campfire underneath your hands. Expanding your chest, your pecs just a little bit deeper. Reconnect with that Ujjayi breath now. Closing off the lips. Building some heat. With your next breath in, gently shift your hips forward. Come up to a tabletop position. On your exhale, tuck your toes, send the hips high. Downward facing dog. With your next breath in, send the left heel high. As you exhale, sweep that knee in towards your nose, step your left foot between your hands. Press down through that left heel, extend that right leg long. Imagine your hamstring pressing towards the sky. With your inhale, press down through the mat. Exhale, arms come up overhead for your high crescent lunge. Again, that back leg stays extended. Left knee is stacked over your left ankle. As you reach towards the sky. Inhale, reach the fingertips out in front of you. As you exhale, pulling that bowstring with the left hand, opening up, twisting to the left. Really tuck that left knee in towards the midline. Don't lose the engagement in that right leg as you reach those left fingertips back behind you. One more breath here. With your inhale, reach the left fingertips back forward. As you exhale, arms come up overhead. Gonna open up to warrior 2. On our inhale, spiral that right heel down to the ground, making that back foot perpendicular to the front. Really point those left toes out towards the front of the mat. Fingertips stretch long. Don't lose that engagement in the front left leg. Your next inhale, reverse the warrior, reach those left fingertips high. Staying here for a breath. As you shift back, warrior 2. Inhale, tick-tock, reach those left fingertips forward. On your exhale, left elbow comes inside the left knee, right fingertips go high. Extended side angle. Start to feel the burn in that left quad. Don't lose that lunge. Your next breath in, spiral back up, warrior 2. On the exhale, point your toes towards the right side of the mat and out towards the corner so they're at a 45-degree angle. Reach the hands up nice and tall, taking up as much space as you want. Star pose. Inhale, hands come to heart center. As you exhale, squat down. Inhale, arms come open. Goalpost arms for your goddess pose as you sink low into the squat. Gonna do some calf raises here. Make sure you're nice and comfortable, base of support underneath. So starting with your left heel, gently press through the toes, raise the heel up. Inhale down, exhale, press the heel up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Release the heel down, re-engage, press those elbows out nice and wide, wrists go back to follow. So we're nice flat, imagine you're between a pane of glass here. Switching to that left heel. On your exhale, lift the heel. Inhale down, exhale, lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 more, 8, 9, 10. Release down. Revisit that squat, that goddess squat.
With your next breath, we're gonna lift both heels up and hold. Isometric contraction here. Feel the burn in both quads. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down the heels, straighten the legs, reach the arms up nice and high. Star pose. Your next inhale, we're gonna open up towards the back of the mat. So dial your toes facing towards the back. Revisit that crescent lunge. Arms come up overhead on your exhale. Reposition your feet. Stack that right knee over the right ankle as you extend that left hamstring back behind you. Inhale, reach the fingers out in front of you. On the exhale, pull those right fingertips back, that imaginary bow. Reach the right fingertips behind you. So you tuck that right knee in towards the midline. Re-engage with that left leg, extend it long behind you. Inhale, bring those right fingertips back forward. As you exhale, open up warrior two. So opposite side, and we're facing the back of the mat. Gaze goes out over those right fingers. Left fingertips stretch out long behind you. With your inhale, reverse the warrior. Stretch the right fingertips high. Don't lose the engagement in that right leg. Inhale, back up, warrior two. On your exhale, reach the right fingertips forward. Right elbow comes inside that right knee as you stretch the left fingertips high. Extended side angle. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. On your exhale, point the toes towards the left side, same side again. Opening up for your star pose. Your next breath in, interlace the fingers behind your back as you press that fist down towards your glutes. Puff the chest out, and on your exhale, fold forward. Wide-legged forward fold as that fist comes up above your head. Let the weight of your head pull you forward. Option to twist open to the left. Drop that fist over to your right. Come back to center on your inhale. As you exhale, twist open to the right. Inhale back to center, revisit that fold. Release the grip behind you as your hands come down to the mat in front of you. Inhale for a halfway lift, nice flat back. On your exhale, walk your hands back towards the top of your mat. Frame that left foot as you step the left foot back, returning to your high plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward, coming up to the tippy toes. On your exhale, slow and controlled, lowering down halfway. Inhale for upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Let it all go. With your next inhale, sweep that left leg high. On the exhale, left knee comes behind that left wrist and your left ankle comes behind the right wrist. Untuck the right toes, lowering down that right knee, coming into your half pigeon pose. So I always like to start with a nice tall spine here. So come up to your fingertips, all 10 fingers. Reposition your hips. So you're driving that right hip forward as you drive the left hip back. You want to try and square it towards the top of your mat as much as you can. It's okay if this front leg is not at a perfect 90-degree angle. Walking that left foot as far forward as your body's allowing you to do. Option to have some support underneath that left hip if you need. Perfectly okay to stay here with your nice tall spine, but for those of you that want to push forward, inhale up nice and tall, and on the exhale, slowly lower down to your forearms. Again, with or without the support of a block, you can have that underneath your forearms to make the ground a little closer to you. Keeping your hips square towards the top of the mat. Again, perfectly okay to stay here on the forearms, or you can completely surrender into your half pigeon, lowering your forehead down to the earth. Letting gravity melt. Couple more breaths wherever you find yourself. With your next inhale, untuck those right toes, raise that right knee up off the mat as you press up to the palms of your hands. Step that left foot back, high plank. On your exhale, send the hips up, downward facing dog. Re-engaging here, press through the fingertips, spiral the elbows in towards the midline as you send your chest back towards your thighs. Your next breath in, send that right heel up nice and high. On the exhale, sweep the right knee behind your right wrist, right ankle behind the left. Untuck the left toes, lower down that left knee. Square the hips, drive that right hip back and the left hip forward. Nice tall spine with your inhale. And only if it's accessible to you, on the exhale, come down to the forearms. Maybe you take it one step further, completely surrendering into this half pigeon. Reconnecting with your breath, creating space to fold just a little deeper into this half pigeon. And wherever you find yourself with your next breath in, we're going to meet back on the palms of our hands. Nice tall spine. Your next breath, untuck the left toes, raise the left knee. As you exhale, step that right foot back for high plank. Eventually shifting your hips high, downward facing dog. With your next breath in, shift your weight back forward to high plank. On your exhale, slow and controlled, lower all the way down to your stomach. Keep the palms of your hands tucked in towards your rib cage, resting your forehead softly on the mat. Tops of the toes press down into the earth as you tuck the elbows behind you towards your spine. With your breath in, press down through the tops of your feet, elevating the quads, activating the kneecaps. On your exhale, take a gentle lift in your forehead, looking your gaze just beyond the top of the mat as you pin your shoulder blades together and down your back. So we're not really pressing through the hands. You can even take a gentle lift in the palms. You're electrifying and engaging that whole posterior chain, activating the glutes, low back, your shoulders, your lats to pull you up, peel you away from the mat. Your next exhale, slowly lower down, left cheek comes to the earth. With your next inhale, interlace those fingers behind your back. On the exhale, same principle here. We're going to press through the tops of the feet, engage the quads to lift the knees. As you exhale, press that fist towards your glutes, taking a lift in your chest, looking your gaze just beyond the top of the mat. Take a gentle tuck in your chin to energetically send the top of your head beyond the top of your mat. Imagine a little string is pulling your head towards the top of your mat. One more breath here. Stay engaged through the quads. On the exhale, slowly lowering down, right cheek comes to the mat. Open mouth exhale. With your next breath in, take a bend in that right knee as you reach with your right fingers towards your right ankle. On the exhale, press that right ankle away as you pull back on your ankle. So you're creating this counter pressure. Your right ankle is pressing away from your glute as you try and pull back with your right fingers. Maintain the grip on that right ankle, but release the engagement. With your next breath in, take a bend in that left knee. Bring the left heel towards your glute as you reach with your left fingertips for the ankle. Simultaneously, left and right leg together. Press the ankles away as you pull back with your fingers, keeping your chest on the ground for this phase. Working our way into bow pose. Staying engaged through the quad, that's going to keep you lifted when we eventually make our way. Release the engagement in your quads. Your next breath in, point those toes down towards your knees. On the exhale, press the ankles away as you pull back. Gently lift through your chest, raising the knees off the mat, resting softly on your belly. Maybe rocking forward and back. Hold here. Again, point those toes back towards your knees to lock in your fingers. Stay lifted through the heels. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down, releasing everything towards the mat. And when you're ready, we're going to shift ourselves onto our back. Supine position. Take a gentle bend in the knees and walk your heels towards your glutes. With your next inhale, interlace your fingers behind your head as you bring your feet up into a tabletop position. So resting at about 90 degrees here. Try and keep your sacrum and your back nice and flat against the mat. Nice deep breath in. On the exhale, send that right heel long as you bring your right elbow across the body towards your left knee. Inhale, return back to your starting position. On the exhale, twisting the opposite way, lowering the left leg, bringing the left elbow across the body. Inhale, return to start. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. Inhale, back to start. Exhale, left elbow, right knee. Start to cycle through these yogi bicycles, building speed as you go. Exhaling with each contraction. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bring both knees into your chest. Circle it out. Massage the lower back, change directions with your circles. Gently rest your feet back down on the mat. Walk those heels as close to your glutes as you can get. Palms are planted down on the mat, reaching your fingers towards your heels. Your next inhale, take a lift in the toes. As you exhale, drive down through the heels, send the hips high for a bridge pose. Again, you're tucking the chin ever so slightly, elongating your cervical spine here, sending those hips up nice and tall, gauging the glutes to keep you lifted. From here, we're going to tuck the shoulder blades just a little bit more underneath as you interlace the fingers behind your butt,
shine your heart forward just a little bit further. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the grip in your fingers as you slowly lower your glutes back down to the mat. Untuck the shoulders. Let your hands rest softly on your chest and your stomach. Allows you to retune in with your breath. You actually can feel that expansion and contraction of your chest, your abdomen, your rib cage. With your next breath in, I want you to bring your arms out to the side, goalpost arms. As you step your right foot up and over the left, keep the knees bent, stack your right knee on top of the left. With your next exhale, let your knees fall out to the right side of your mat as you look your gaze over towards your left elbow. So a little variation on your supine spinal twist. Option to take those right fingertips, placing them on top of your right knee to deepen that twist. Do your best to keep that left shoulder pinned down into the mat as you open up your left low back and hip. One more breath here. Your next inhale, bring the knees back to center. As you exhale, unstack the knees. Step that right heel back down to the mat. Inhale, left knee comes up and over the right. On your exhale, let your knees fall out to the left as you twist and turn your gaze over towards your right elbow. Reconnect with your breath. Try and find a little more depth and expansion with each exhale. When you're ready, gently bring the knees back to center. As you exhale, unlock the knees, step that left foot back down to the mat. So I'll talk you through wheel pose here. For those of you that have never done it before, maybe just tune in and watch before you try it on your own. It's a pretty good hip opener, heart opener, back bend. But one thing you really want to be cautious of is when you come out of wheel pose to save your neck from any potential damage. So I'm going to talk you through it. We're going to start with like a prep for bridge, and you change it up by placing the palms of your hands on either side of your ears, tucking the elbows in towards the midline and stacking them above your wrist. So your fingers are pointing back towards your shoulders. Elbows are tucked in nice and tight. You walk the heels towards your glute. Take a nice deep breath in. On your exhale, press down through the heels and the palms as you raise up into your wheel. Let the weight of your head fall down towards the mat. And when you're ready to come out, make sure you tuck your chin first as you slowly lower down. Head comes first, and then along the spine, all the way down to your safety. So go ahead and take a minute. If you want to try that on your own, it takes a lot of upper and lower body strength. When you're ready, come back down to your spine. Make sure you tuck that chin. Save your neck. With your next inhale, bring both knees into your chest. As you exhale, bring your chin and forehead towards your knees. Wrap the elbows around the knees for ball pose. Give a squeeze. Really hug those knees in towards your body, creating a ball. Tuck your chin, bring your forehead towards your knees. Stay active. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open mouth, exhale. Let your legs go long. Hands go wide. Take up as much or as little space on your mat as you need. Allow your breath to return to its normal state. Do your best to find some peace and some stillness in your body and your mind. This time can be so important for rejuvenation and recovery, especially in stressful times. And when you're ready, start to bring some small movements back into your body. Bring your thoughts back into your body. Center yourself on the mat. Slowly let those movements start to grow, whatever that looks like for you. If you're ready, make your way into a fetal position, pausing for a breath or two. As you eventually make your way up to a comfortable seated position. Reconnecting with your intention for today's practice, whether it's that balance between courage and fear or something that speaks to you on your own. Allow that to stay with you throughout your day when you leave your mat. Take a nice deep breath in, bring the hands to heart center. On your exhale, connect the heart with your third eye, the seat of wisdom. I bow to you. Namaste.